So hello Peoria Heights, we're back with another, no doubt eagerly anticipated episode of Tower Talk. The heat wave has dissipated and it's been replaced by some much needed rain, buckets of it in fact right now, which has brought many things back to life, including the very restaurant we're sitting in right now. So we're at one of Central Illinois' favorites at the vaunted Paparazzi back table. So we're happy to have our two guests here today, the two deans of the local restaurant scene, who took a chance on this place long before the Heights Restaurant Row was ever envisioned and evolved into what it is today. So we have Lisa Mancuso and Bruce Brown. Welcome to Tower Talk. We're glad to have both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great. So we're going to talk about the recent challenges, but first I want to get into this place's origins. You recently celebrated your 37th anniversary, quite an accomplishment. Yeah. So you've earned your stripes here, I'd say. Tell us how all this got started. And why in this most unlikely of locations, in the unlikeliest of times?
Well, it got started because Bruce needed a job.
Yeah.
and this place was available and cheap.
Yeah. So. Is he still looking? We know who carries the ball.
Yeah, but there is that.
Yeah. But what in the world were you two thinking? I mean, you know. You come to the Heights, the Pabst plant has just closed, it's the early 1980s, and you're opening a restaurant in this location, which a lot of folks wouldn't pick.
Young and stupid.
I like to call it a Depression-era establishment. I was depressed.
Yeah.
I didn't have a job. And Reagan recession, 1983, and not too much going on, and I was desperate. And I happened to be the youngest of 7 children. I had an older brother that was very knowledgeable, and he said, "You should have an Italian restaurant. I'll show you what to do."
Why not?
And here we are.
Okay.
Okay. What have we got to lose? Everything. Absolutely everything. Right?
Yeah. About I don't know, was it 6 months or so into it, and we're looking at this going, oh my God, really? And we're like, well, the good news is we bought this building for nothing. Mm-hmm. We could sell it.
Right.
So if it doesn't work out, we'll be okay. And 37 years
I didn't think it
later.
lasted a year. I really didn't.
Really?
Yeah. The book says, the business book says, you open a business like this, you have 6 months revenue in the bank in case something happens. They didn't know back then when they wrote the book, by COVID-19 or whatever.
Yeah.
This, I do not exaggerate. If there was not a good first week here, there absolutely would not have been a second week. It was that close. And Peoria, just Central Illinois, very gratifying, busy, got busier.
Well, so you recently talked about we just talked about your 37th anniversary, and you and I had discussed prior to this, you had talked about the anniversary that almost did not happen. So yeah. I'm curious, during this whole pandemic, first of all, how that ranks in the history of challenges here at Paparazzi, and if you gave any thought to riding off into the sunset, I suppose.
It's an excellent question in terms of challenges. Help me out here. Has there been a bigger one in 37
of
years
course
than
not.
the one we're in right now?
Oh, of course
I don't
not.
think there is. This is it. This is it.
For anybody. Yeah.
The Marines have a lot of sayings, and here's one. Anybody can perform beautifully when you have everything that you have in front of you, and the supply and the money and everything else. The real test is what can you do when the chips are down, your arm is in a sling, like it is now, and all these challenges. So I think, the ability to perform at the up end takes care of itself. People lined up outside the front, no problem. We can do it or not. And so that causes us to look at the menu, to work a little harder, pursue perfection a little harder, and we're doing it, and we're okay. We'd like to have higher capacity, but
Sorry.
So was there, what did you learn about yourselves and about the business during that time off? 14 weeks off, long time. Longest you've ever been off, I'm sure, in the last 37 years. I mean,
I learned that when we retire, and we will, I mean, you know,
Mm-hmm.
Bruce is 72, I'm 66, we're, you know, I've learned that I will be getting a job because being lazy is just not good, you know, and that's probably why we're back now,
Yeah.
3.5 months later, working, because I think we both do better when we're working.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
it's but that's the thing that I learned about myself is that
We both do better when we're working.
I
We
do better when I'm working.
we have a lovely house in Marshall County that Lisa designed, and
I didn't
it
know
was
that.
designed with some general principles of feng shui, air, light, water, earth, and to be able to what we call enjoy the facility for 14 weeks.
And get a lot of projects done.
Yeah, sure.
Lisa
The
has her own
honey-
chainsaw.
The honey-do list
Yeah, yeah,
got a lot of things nicked off of that baby.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose you also learned you missed your customers, right? I mean, you talked.
Oh yeah.
You talked a lot
Oh
about
yeah.
that. How,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I think 90%.
Unfortunately, I had some that had my phone number and email. So
Yeah, called you anyway.
Like,
Yeah, can we get take out?
We'll drive out to Lincoln. Come on, Shell's Florentine, please. We're dying here.
You know, Lisa, and we brought it up before, and it's a thread that runs through this, is the customer base. You know, it sounds an exaggeration. This is here has, I mean, when we open, this isn't about how much money you can make, how fast. What it's about, my mother's pictures hang here, is doing as good a job pursuing perfection, and 3, 4, 5, 6 rungs down the ladder, if you do that consistently without fail, then the reward comes later. It's not how much can we get tonight, it's how long can we last doing a good job. And that's my mom talking to me right now.
Sure.
That's what this is about.
Yeah. So how's business been since you reopened, which was early July, right?
Yeah, July 1st.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and July 5th was the first actual
You know,
37th
it's not
anniversary.
bad. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we're doing every other table, so you know that's kind of tough because we kind of have that clientele that is more the early diners. So you know, on a Friday or Saturday, we have that big hit right at 5:30
Yeah.
to 6:30. Well, I can only service half of those people because I'm only can seat half of my tables.
Right,
So you know, it's the cajoling them into going, yeah, I don't have anything at 5:30. How about
Yeah.
7 o'clock?
Sure.
You know, so you know, that's the toughest.
And you lose the early bird special, people like me, people my age, my advanced, accelerated age.
Well, the later business, which you referred to at this table, you know, that people come in and,
Yeah.
you know, Paparazzi is doctor, patient, attorney, client,
Yeah.
confidential. But there have been a good number of wonderful get-togethers here at this back table,
Right.
where Lisa wisely sees what's unfolding
And
and comes
leaves.
out and says,
Yeah.
I have everything
Yeah.
locked up, basically. I'm leaving. And it was sitting
Try
there
not to
with-
drink everything.
I'm not going to drop any names. You know, I'm not going to do it. But we have some wonderful friends in the community. Some of it comes from past politics and whatever.
Sure.
And it's wonderful to come in and talk and what's going on in the city and the state and the nation and what's going on at Paparazzi. There's been some wonderful, wonderful. If this table could talk.
That's right. That's right. That's why I call it the vaunted back table,
Yes,
where so many deals have been struck and checks
This
passed and all sorts
table-
of things for various projects, pet projects of yours in town.
Yeah. 37 years ago,
Yeah.
this table, we've got this gap here, which is by the kitchen door, so it's not a desirable table. So we put this here on the seating chart. It's called the family table. And ostensibly, it would not be a desirable place because there's hustle and bustle. And people actually call and say, you know, we've been coming in there for years, and we've never had a chance to sit at that back.
Right.
It's this place has a life and personality of its own. Bruce and Lisa are holding on. It's can I say it's bigger than we are? It really is. It's 3 and 4 generations. What is it? We don't want to say the name, but the one that was in here with a handful of chocolates. Was she 3 years old?
We have one family that are 1, 2, 3, 4 generations, And the little ones, they were in Saturday night, have been coming in forever, and so I'll use his first name. Little Jordan has grown up with the chocolate mousse, and when he was very, very tiny, because I make the mousse, the deal was that I had to get a kiss.
Oh, I see.
If I, So when they came in Saturday night, I was just like, you guys, I don't get any kisses, I don't get any hugs. And the two of them, he and his sister, held their hands out. They had Hershey's Kisses for me.
Oh, okay. they planned ahead.
They planned ahead. They knew I needed a kiss.
Yeah.
So yeah,
This is why this is fun.
yeah,
I mean, when you have that
yeah.
familia,
Right.
I mean,
And so, like something like 90% of your customers are repeat, right? So I guess I'm wondering, what the secret sauce is here. I mean, so much about this place, so much about your success, defied conventional wisdom. The location, the timing, the sort of the unchanging look and
Exactly,
feel of the
yeah.
place. I was here 35 years ago and it looks pretty
Exactly
much the same
the
today
same.
as it did then.
It's timeless.
Yeah. So what's the secret sauce? Is it your mama's spoon? What is it? What's going on?
Consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more than anything when
Mm-hmm.
people come in, and and it is, there are places that change their menu every other month. We've gotten to the point where we're basically not allowed to, because if you can't come in and get your chicken and parchment,
See, they know that.
you are going to be mad.
That's right.
we have another couple.
I order the same thing every single time.
We have another couple,
Yeah.
and it's not common knowledge. Lisa's not allowed to tell me who's out here until after I've served them. Everybody gets 100% from me. That said, the order goes up. Some of them I can tell who's here. And one in particular, I went out and chatted with them later. They said, Bruce Brown, if it were possible to line up the 100 polentas with marinara sauce that I've ordered over the years or more, they would all look the same, they would all taste the same, they would all be right out of the oven. And I said,
All the same size.
just
exactly.
it's the consistent. It's not only getting it right, but it's getting consistent. And I told him, and I said, I don't care whether it's ribs, Chinese, the coin of the realm, the breaded pork tenderloin. If it's always good all the time, summer, winter, spring, and fall, somewhere in the building is a fanatic or two. And I told them.
And which one of you is that? Yeah.
Well, I said, please, when you use my name, put fanatic in front of it, in the middle, or at the end. Or if you've heard these rumors, drop fanatic and just use F.
He considers it a compliment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the Marine.
Yeah, that's
That's the
right.
Marine.
Well, something you said earlier to me really struck me, and you had said that when somebody gets good health news from their doctor, they come here. When they get bad news, they come here. When they get married, they come here. When they get divorced, they come here.
That's right.
And I suspect there are a lot of places you couldn't really say that about, right? For you come here for every occasion, up, down, whatever. And so why is that? So why
It creates a comfort. It's it hasn't changed. I mean, more pictures on the wall, and all of them are original, by the way, and not all mine.
I think it's that Cheers mentality. There's a reason why that TV show resonated. It's that Cheers mentality where everybody knows your name. I'm the only person that's that's ever stood at that podium greeting people.
Right.
Come in, I know your name, I know who you are. Generally speaking, I know if your husband just died, or or if you had kids or whatever, and people like that.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
people like that.
I mean, again, I have to interject the word fanatic. Lisa and I don't come in here to do base hits, okay? We come in here and pursue perfection. We come in for home runs. And here's the thing about a restaurant like this. You have 37 years of this great history. And you come in on a given night, you've had 100, 150 meals, and on a given night, something's on tilt. That's one that's going to get remembered. So we become quite fanatic about what comes out here in this dining room, because we're looking for that consistency.
Sure.
And summer, winter, spring, and fall, easier said than done. In the winter time, it could be 50 degrees back there. In the summertime, Saturday night was 104 or 5. customer out here, anniversary, good medical report, bad red, whatever. I don't care about that. I want it perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to deliver the goods.
Right. So you two are full partners in business and life. So how do you split up the duties here?
He does all the talking and I do all the work.
She's right. There's an old Art Buchwald joke about how you get a new restaurant in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
The chef and the maitre d' have a fight and you end up with 2 new places.
That would never work because he could never run his own place.
The line, I guess, of demarcation is the waiter's station. I have the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa has the dining room and the servers.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I don't need to say it, she has control of this dining room.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm back there and I know that. And so this gives me the ability to do what I do. But she's out here and she knows I'm back there and she knows that, which gives her the ability to do what she does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Until, of course, he comes out and he starts talking.
Right.
And that's when the shepherd's hook,
That's
you know,
right.
and like Bruce,
And
you
out-
got to go back and cook.
And out comes the Grand Marnier, a bottle of the Grand Marnier.
Yeah.
which gets
Well,
us-
luckily that only happens when he's actually done working.
Right. That's right.
I should buy stock in that company.
So earlier I referred to the two of you as the deans of, the Heights restaurant scene. The Godfather, the Godmother.
Thanks.
An offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you feel that you have played a significant role in making the Heights a dining destination?
Yeah.
Because you were really the only thing going for a time.
Yeah.
Yes. When we got here, and I'm going to use his name because he has one of my favorite places, Jim's Bistro in the Heights, JD and Julie Comfort, extremely good and close friends. And even JD says, Bruce, he says, I'll have people come in, he says, you guys are the oldest restaurant in Peoria Heights. And JD says, not quite. There's a little place on the back street of Peoria Heights that is senior. Mm-hmm. And JD, even just the other night, said, Bruce, you're the godfather of Peoria Heights.
Right.
And I said, so what's that make you, my Goomba?
Right.
The phrase is, it takes our village.
Mm-hmm.
We take it quite seriously. We enjoy, fanatic about being part of what's going on in Peoria Heights. And anything that we can do to use this facility to enhance the community of Peoria Heights, we're going to do it without hesitation.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about that because we talked about this back table. And so, can you give our viewers some idea of the number of projects that have been launched back here?
God, no.
You've held a lot of charitable fundraisers and other events here for one community thing or another. And I'm wondering if in particular there's something about this spot, the chemistry of it, that makes all those things happen.
Back to what I said, it has a life of its own that I honestly can't explain. I honestly can't explain. There have been some things in the community that have been, log jammed or whatever, and to get somebody, we use quite often here in vino veritas, in wine there is truth. I don't do meetings of a dining room. So people come in here, there's a log jam, and it's not like, hey, I want to talk to you. You serve them an excellent dinner, you chat a little bit, and they kind of become at ease, and the things that were a log jam fade away. I cannot explain it.
Well, the Grand Marnier helps, I guess.
Good point. That and a little champagne. He drinks the Grand Marnier, I drink the champagne, and all things are possible.
And like you said, I think the whole attorney-client, doctor-patient, priest-penitent kind of thing, that people feel like they're free to.
Exactly.
Well, and I think I will give credit to Bruce because I think that the politician part of him from years and years ago of wanting to help has kind of evolved. I'm not sure that I would have had that mentality of, giving back and, and doing all these things. That really was started with him where, this is all part of his makeup. This is, this is what you do. You help out. You do, you do a fundraiser. You do, whatever. So, it just kind of evolved over the years where, just kind of one after another. Where
let's talk about that. So, obviously, you had former life in politics, which continues in a sort of a non-political way.
Yeah.
Well, but outside of
I got
elected
elected to the Peoria City Council.
Once a politician, always a politician.
Twice ran for mayor of Peoria.
April of 1973. I'm 25 years old. I'm elected to City Council, second youngest in the history of. And my mother, Italian mother, came by my house the day after the election. And then she didn't like politics. And she said, "How long is this for?" And I said, "Ma, it's for 4 years." And she says, "You're the youngest of my 7 babies. I want to tell you something. I want you to listen to me. This isn't about what you're going to get. It's the difference you can make with what you've been given." Ding, ding, ding. It's the same way with this place. On paper, early on, this place should not exist. So we are extraordinarily thankful that it does, and we're going to pay it forward relentlessly. And sometimes, by the way, it hurts a little bit financially, immaterial and irrelevant. We're going to pay it forward.
So did you always view this restaurant as an extension of your civic mindedness or as a launching pad for it? Or as
I think it evolved.
More than a place to eat anyway.
Yeah, I think it evolved. I mean, because truly when we first opened it, it was like, it was a job.
We got a job.
It was something to do, so, it was just, and we were young. I mean, I was 16 when we opened this place. Obviously, to the man. It's just to make that very clear.
And still are. You see the sign over here. Marry me, Lisa.
Right there.
Let me tell you what kind of control Lisa had over the dining room. We had, it's modern day, so we can say we lived together for a while. And it's not difficult painting the barn. It's finding a farmer that will let you paint the barn.
Yes.
Okay.
So you actually did this. Is this the way you proposed? Really?
That's a proposal.
Yeah.
So I came in here early one day before she got here, and I put that up there. And I thought, when she gets here, I'm just going to wait to see how long it takes.
Right.
3 minutes. Came back in the kitchen. Yes, yes, yes. So
how long would it take today? In retrospect,
more pictures she wouldn't see it. Can you tell we're having fun?
Yes, that's right. So 1983 then, right? That was the
No, we didn't get married till when did we get 96?
Oh, 96. Okay.
96.
Yeah. So partners a long time before that.
Yeah.
This high-stress job.
You're very patient.
This high-stress job.
You have no idea.
It's not only working here, but living together in this whole environment of what next. They're in here working, let's call it Friday, and as it is, it's busy, and the delivery truck comes and the fresh basil looks like it's been run over. And so Lisa's got to drop what she's doing and go to 1 or 2 stores to get it, and that's not bad.
Right.
She hates leaving me with the phone. So to have that high stress, not just at work, but at home and all times in between, I think is a tribute to a fantastic relationship, and
a big house.
That's right. Both can be on a different level.
Exactly.
Where anybody that's listening to television or me or whatever, all Bluetooth headphones, so they have to listen to one another's.
That's right. That's right. I'm in the basement at my house. My wife's on the 2nd story bedroom. So that's how we do it.
When you ask how we dealt with our time off, the other part of it was, we had this big house and we had this place.
Yeah.
So when it really got to the point where I'm like, I'm going into Pops.
That's
I'm
right.
going to go clean something at Paparazzi. See you in a couple days.
Right. So what is next for the two of you? First of all, on your civic agenda, what's next? And then secondly, what's next for this restaurant, and how long are you going to keep doing it?
No
Long
answer.
time.
No answer.
Long silence.
Greeted by silence.
I'm working on 3 projects, actually. I'm working on Donovan's Sculpture Garden. I'm working on some conceptuals to have something happen that's very near and dear to my heart, and namely that's a trailhead building for the Rock Island Trail. I believe it should be in Peoria Heights, and we're working real hard to have that happen. And I'm wearing a black ring on my index finger. Civilians call it the index finger. It's the trigger finger. I'm working with 22 VA, 22 veteran artists. It's a PTSD group that we have found that by photography, painting, sculpture, and exhibiting works, that it's a great aid in bringing people down from PTSD. And I'm in the group. I'm getting quite fanatic about their works, and we have some little projects we're working on.
Okay, good. And Lisa gets the last word for a change.
I run the restaurant.
And so what's next for the restaurant? I know we talked before a little bit, and you talked about you really would like to make it to 40. 40 is kind of a goal, maybe.
You never heard that come out of my mouth.
From him. Yeah.
No, I mean, like I said before, I mean, we're looking at retirement.
Yeah.
We're not going to lie about that, and it's going to happen here sooner rather than later. 40 isn't that far away, but I'm not sure we'll make it till 40, but and then I'll get a job.
So in other words, make your reservations now.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Possible.
He's not going to let me have
Yeah.
It's possible that someone that we know quite well may come in, and we would work with them and make a transition so that there would be a new owner, possibly a family member. It's very much up in the air. I think, Paparazzi's 37. I think 40 sounds nicer than 38 or 39. What a stunning achievement. Stand alone. To create something from nothing, and that's what this was in 1983. And to drive it and steer steady and precisely for 40 years.
Quite an accomplishment. Good for you guys. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So there you have it. This wraps up another episode of Tower Talk. We invite you all to come to this cozy, quaint, timeless place. I highly recommend the chicken and parchment.
There we go.
I'm told the veal piccata is a big seller as well. But until next time, we'll see you.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.